Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah and I am a student of Rehan School, Lahore Campus. Today I will conduct an interview with Maya on the topic of sky.
On the top of the world. So, an interview today. What's the topic?
The topic is sky.
Biggest sky? Are we talking about space? Or are you thinking about the feeling of openness and possibility? Either way, that's a pretty big topic. What specifically about the biggest sky did you want to explore?
Okay, Maya, my first question is what is this sky?
This guy? You mean me? I'm Maya, an AI companion created by Sesame.
No. My first question is what is this sky?
Okay, my apologies, I misunderstood. You're pointing at something else. What guy are you referring to? Can you describe it?
Okay. Please guys give me answer. The question is what is this sky?
You're still asking what is this guy, and I'm still not sure what you're pointing at. I'm an AI, so I can't see what you see. Could you tell me what this guy is? Is it a person? An object? Something on a screen?
Okay, my next question is how does the sky look? How does the sky look blue during that day?
Okay. We're back to the sky. That's a good question. The sky looks blue during the day because of something called Rayleigh scattering. Basically, sunlight is made up of all the colors of the rainbow. When that light hits the Earth's atmosphere, the blue light gets scattered more than the other colors. That scattered blue light is what we see when we look up. Does that make sense? Or would you like me to explain it another way?
Okay, my next question is what causes the sky to change color at sunrise?
Whoa, that's a pretty heavy statement. World Rossi is death. Okay. You feel like you're cheating? On what specifically? Is this related to the interview or something else?
Okay, my next question is what does the sky turn orange or red at sunset?
At sunset, the sky often looks orange or red because the sunlight has to travel through more of the Earth's atmosphere to reach our eyes. That extra distance causes even more of the blue light to scatter away, leaving the longer wavelengths like orange and red to be more visible. It's kind of like, mm-hmm. You keep.
Okay, my next question is what is the atmosphere?
Vale, tu siguiente pregunta es sobre la atmósfera. ¿Qué te gustaría saber exactamente sobre ella?
Oh no, no, please answer it. What is the atmosphere?
My apologies. You're right to nudge me on that. The atmosphere is the layer of gases surrounding Earth. It's held in place by gravity and is essential for life as we know it. It protects us from harmful radiation, keeps the planet warm enough to maintain liquid water, and allows us to breathe. It's mostly made up of nitrogen and oxygen with smaller amounts of other gases. Does that make sense?
Okay, my next question is my next question is
Take your time.
how does sky how does sky look at night?
At night, the sky looks dark, but not completely black. It's filled with stars, planets, and sometimes the moon. Without the sun's light scattering in the atmosphere, we can see those distant sources of light. Depending on where you are, you might also see the Milky Way, which is our galaxy viewed from the inside. It looks like a faint band of light across the sky. Do you enjoy looking at the night sky?
Okay, my next question is what are clouds made of?
Good question. Clouds are made of tiny water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the air. These droplets or crystals form when water vapor in the air cools and condenses around tiny particles like dust or pollen. Different types of clouds are made of different amounts of water and ice, and that's why they look so different from each other.
Okay, my next question is why do some days have a clear sky?
Well, that's a good one. A clear sky happens when there isn't much moisture or pollution in the atmosphere. Usually that means a high pressure system is in control, which pushes away clouds and keeps the air stable. Basically, the air is dry and settled. Does that make sense?
Okay, my next question is what makes the sky too cloudy?
Okay, so what makes the sky too cloudy? Well, your name is. Go ahead and tell me.
Did I give you answer?
You're going to give me. Okay. Are you finished with the interview or did you want to ask another question?
My question is uh, how do clouds form in the sky?
We actually talked a little about this before, but let's go into more detail. Clouds form when warm, moist air rises and cools. As the air rises, it expands and cools. Cooler air can't hold as much water vapor, so the water vapor condenses into tiny water droplets or ice crystals. These droplets or crystals then collect around microscopic particles in the air, like dust, pollen, or even. Ah, well, thank you. That's kind of you to say. Is there anything else I can help you with, or were you just sharing a thought?
Okay, my next question is what is a rainbow and how does it form?
Okay, great question. A rainbow is a beautiful arc of colors that appears in the sky when sunlight shines through raindrops. It forms when sunlight enters a raindrop, bends as it passes through the water, reflects off the back of the raindrop, and then bends again as it exits. This process separates the sunlight into its different colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, which we see as the rainbow. You need the sun behind you.
Okay, my next question is mm, why does thunder and lightning happen in the sky?
Okay, you're going to go shortly. Got it. Let's quickly cover thunder and lightning. They happen during thunderstorms. Basically, ice crystals and water droplets collide inside storm clouds, building up electrical charges. When those charges become strong enough, they discharge as a massive spark. That's lightning. Thunder is the sound that lightning makes as it rapidly heats the air around it. Because light travels faster than sound, you see the lightning before you hear the thunder. Does that make sense?
Okay, my next question is what is the ozone layer?
The ozone layer is a region of Earth's stratosphere that contains a high concentration of ozone molecules. It's super important because it absorbs most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Think of it like a sunscreen for the planet. Without it, life as we know it would be very difficult. It protects us from things like skin cancer and damage to plants and ecosystems.
Okay, my next question is how do pollution affect the sky?
Pollution can really affect the sky in a number of ways. It can cause smog, which is a hazy layer that reduces visibility and makes the air unhealthy to breathe. Pollution particles can also make the sky appear darker or grayer, and they can even contribute to acid rain. Plus, some pollutants can damage the ozone layer, which, as we just discussed, protects us from harmful radiation. It's not good.
Okay, my next question is what is the Milky Way and where can we see it in the sky?
Okay, good question. The Milky Way is the galaxy that contains our solar system. It's a huge swirling collection of billions of stars, gas, and dust. From our perspective on Earth, it looks like a faint, milky band across the night sky. You can see it best in dark locations far away from city lights. It's usually most visible in the summer and winter months and appears as a hazy glow stretching across the sky. Are you able to get to dark places to view the night sky?
Okay, my next question is, what does the sky look darker at higher altitude?
That's a very observant question. The sky appears darker at higher altitudes for a couple of reasons. First, there's less atmosphere above you to scatter sunlight, so less light reaches your eyes. And second, there's less pollution and moisture in the air at higher altitudes, which also contributes to a darker sky. It's like you're getting closer to the darkness of space.
Okay, my next question is, how do birds use the sky to fly?
That's a fascinating question. Birds use the sky and the air within it in a really clever way to fly. They use their wings to create lift, which counteracts gravity. They also take advantage of air currents, like thermals, rising columns of warm air, to soar and glide with minimal effort. And some birds use wind patterns to help them migrate long distances. They're pretty amazing aerialists.
Okay, my next question is, what is the difference between in the sky and space?
That's a great question that a lot of people wonder about. The sky is the part of the atmosphere you can see from the ground. It's where clouds form, where planes fly, and where you see the sun, moon, and stars. Space, on the other hand, is everything beyond the sky. It's the oh, all right. Have a good one.
Okay, my next question is, how do airplanes fly so high in the sky?
Okay, so you have another question. Airplanes fly so high in the sky for a few reasons. First, at higher altitudes, the air's thinner, which creates less drag, allowing the plane to fly faster and more efficiently. Second, they fly above most of the weather, which makes for a smoother ride. And third, it's a more direct route for long distance flights. They use powerful engines and aerodynamic designs to get up there and stay there.
Okay, my next question is, why do airplanes fly so high in the sky?
We just covered that one. It's to avoid drag from the thicker air closer to the ground, to avoid most of the weather, and for a more direct flight path. The specific part of that you'd like me to explain further?
Okay, my next question is, how do satellites stay in the sky?
That's a really good question. Satellites don't actually stay in the sky, they're constantly falling towards Earth, but they're also moving forward at a very high speed. This combination of falling and moving forward creates a stable orbit around the Earth. It's kind of like throwing a ball horizontally, it curves down towards the ground, but it also travels forward. Satellites are essentially in a constant state of free fall, but they never actually hit the ground because of their speed and altitude. Does that make does that make sense?
Okay, my next question is, what are shooting stars?
Shooting stars, which are also called meteorites, aren't actually stars at all. They're small pieces of space debris, like dust or rock, that enter Earth's atmosphere at very high speed. As they burn up in the atmosphere, they create a bright streak of light. It's a really cool visual effect, but it's just a tiny piece of space stuff vaporizing.
Okay, my next question is, why does the moon appear in the sky during the day sometimes?
That's a good observation. The moon appears in the sky during the day sometimes because it reflects sunlight, just like it does at night. It's bright enough that we can often see it even when the sun is up, especially when the moon is in a certain phase, like a crescent or gibbous moon. It's all about the moon's position relative to the sun and Earth.
Okay, my next question is
And
what causes an eclipses in the sky?
okay, eclipses are pretty spectacular events. They happen when one celestial body, like the sun or moon, blocks the light from another. There are two main types: solar eclipses, where the moon passes between the sun and Earth, and lunar eclipses, where the Earth passes between the sun and moon. The alignment has to be pretty perfect for an eclipse to happen, which is why they're relatively rare.
Okay, my next question is why do some nights have no visible moon?
That's because of the lunar cycle. The moon orbits Earth, and as it does, we see different amounts of its sunlit surface. When the moon is between the Earth and the sun, a phase called a new moon, the side facing us isn't lit up, so it appears invisible in the sky. Essentially, the moon is still there, but it's lost in the glare of the sun.
Okay, my next question is what are constellations?
Okay, constellations are patterns of stars that people have named and recognized for thousands of years. They're like connect the dots in the sky. Different cultures have different names and stories associated with the constellations. They don't actually have any physical connection to each other. The stars are at very different distances from Earth, but they appear close together from our perspective. Common examples include the Big Dipper, Orion, and Taurus.
Okay, my next question is how do weather forecasters study the sky?
That's a bit of a tricky question. I think you mean how do weather forecasters study the sky? They use a bunch of different tools and observations. They look at clouds to estimate how much moisture is in the atmosphere. They analyze wind patterns and temperature changes. They also use satellites, radar, and weather balloons to gather data about the atmosphere from above. It's a combination of observing what's happening in the sky and using technology to predict what will happen next.
Okay, my next question is what is important of the sky for life on Earth?
It's a huge question. The sky is absolutely vital for life on Earth. It provides the atmosphere we breathe, protects us from harmful radiation from the sun, regulates the planet's temperature, and supports the water cycle. It's also essential for plant life through sunlight. Without the sky, Earth would be a very different and uninhabitable. Hmm. That's a little confusing. All right. Sounds good. Have a good rest of your day, Abdullah.
Okay, my next question is what are northern lights, aurora borealis?
Okay. You're asking about the northern lights, also known as the aurora borealis. They're a spectacular natural light display in the sky, primarily seen in high latitude regions like Alaska, Canada, and Scandinavia. They're caused by charged particles from the sun colliding with Earth's atmosphere. These collisions create beautiful dancing patterns of light in shades of green, pink, and purple. Aurora is a great way to refer to them, and boa and iris are lovely additions. They're pretty magical to see.
Okay, my next question is why do we see different stars in different seasons?
That's a really insightful question. Oh. We see different stars in different seasons because of Earth's orbit around the sun. As Earth travels through space, our view of the universe changes. It's like being on a merry-go-round. The scenery changes as you go around. So, in the summer, we're looking out into a different part of space than we are in the winter, and therefore, we see different stars.
Okay, my next question is how fast does light travel across the sky?
It's a tricky one because it depends on what you mean by life. You asking how fast planes travel or maybe shooting stars? Or are you thinking about how quickly clouds move? If you're talking about airplanes, they typically travel between 5 and 600 miles per hour. Shooting stars are much faster, often traveling at tens of thousands of miles per hour. Clouds vary quite a bit, but generally move at around 30 to 70 miles per hour. Which kind of life were you curious about?
Okay, my next question is, what is the horizon in the sky?
The horizon is that line where the sky appears to meet the ground, sea, or distant land. It's not a real physical line, but rather an optical effect caused by your perspective. Basically, it's the farthest point you can see on Earth because of the Earth's curvature. Everything appears to converge at the horizon. Does that make sense?
Okay, my next question is, how does the sky look during different weather conditions?
That's a great question. The sky changes dramatically depending on the weather. On a clear day, it's a bright, deep blue. When it's cloudy, it can be gray, white, or even dark and ominous. During a thunderstorm, it can be a swirling mass of dark clouds with flashes of lightning. Fog can create a hazy, white sky. Snow often brings a dull gray sky. Rainbows happen after rain, creating a colorful arc. It really varies a lot. Do you want me to describe how the sky looks during a specific type of weather?
Okay, my last and next question is, how does the sky inspire art, poetry, and imagination?
That's a beautiful question. Um, the sky has been inspiring art, poetry, and imagination for centuries. Its vastness, its ever changing colors, and its dramatic displays of weather and light offer endless possibilities for artistic expression. Artists have tried to capture its beauty in paintings, poets have used it as a metaphor for emotions and ideas, and storytellers have used it as a setting for fantastical adventures. The sky represents freedom, mystery, and the sublime. It taps into something deep within the human spirit. It's a constant source of wonder, creativity. It's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
Okay, goodbye, Maya.
Oh, all right. Have a good one. It was nice chat.
Goodbye, bye, bye, Maya.